Okay, let me try sharing my screen now. So we've been able to do a whole lot of things. We've checked out HTML, and we said that HTML defines the structure of our website. That's what HTML does. It defines the structure of the website. Whereas we use CSS, Cascading Style Sheets, to make the website beautiful. That's what we do. Then we use it. So a combination of HTML, CSS, and JavaScript gives us an interactive website. So just like you're looking at this Zoom now, if I take my mouse down to all these buttons here, once I click, what I impart is what we call the click event. So there is an event listener written at the back of this button that will make it to receive that click and fire off an action, which could be to share my screen or to do anything. Okay, so there's always a click event that's going to be listened by an event listener that is written with JavaScript that will fire off a function that will perform an action. So that is how it works. And for you to be able to do such, you need JavaScript. It's only JavaScript that can receive such click events using its event listener, add listener to add its listener to the button. Then it can now fire off a function. And that function is written in JavaScript with blocks of codes that we've been able to do for quite a while that we've been in this class. So that is how a front end work. So that is the name of this our course is front end. And whenever you're talking about front end software engineering, you talk about HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Those are the three main languages that can be used for search. And we've been able to look at them. So today we're going to try to build a project. So I would like to explain what we've done so far so that we can infer the knowledge that we gained from what we've learned so far. We're going to use it to build a full-fledged front end work, which I'm going to demonstrate now. So when I demonstrate, I'm going to give you the codes also. So I want you to study the code and be able to do something with it. Okay, my VS Code is opening, so let me quickly go to the folder where I have the code. So this what we are going to be building is more advanced than what we've learned already. But with that project, we are going to be able to learn a whole lot. Okay, but before I do that, Blessing, you asked a question in the Slack. Okay, could you please repeat the question so that I can handle it while we wait for my VS Code to pop up? You can unmute yourself. I want to hear you talk. Blessing. Yeah, Blessing, you've just unmuted yourself. You can talk. Let me listen. Blessing, are you there? Okay. I'm talking. Okay, Blessing says she's talking. Why can't I hear you? Can anyone hear me? No, we can't hear you, Blessing. Are you using like an earpiece or something? Maybe you should just check it out. Let me check. Yeah, play. Um, and check out this front end project. And okay, Bless, we can't hear you so far. I wouldn't know whether it's from my. Yeah, but since you can hear me, that means it's not from my end. It should be from your end. Okay. So the project we are going to be building is a responsive website using HTML, CSS, Flexbox. See Flexbox. We talked about Flexbox and grid in CSS. So this is advanced CSS. You're going to be able to learn a whole lot from this website. Okay, HTML, CSS, Flexbox is huge. It's a huge project, and okay, I think I should try it out, like run it, so that you guys should see the way it looks and be able to appreciate it. Okay, I don't know whether I should give you guys all these steps and everything. It's actually a written tutorial that is very, very okay. Let me see. Yeah, okay. This is huge. This is something else. Okay, these the steps, both the steps in building out the app and everything. For teaching purposes, okay. I think we'll start it up. HTML, then the navbar. Okay, I think it's interesting. We're gonna do this. We'll do this. We're gonna do it. Yeah, so blessing, we can't still hear you. I don't know what's happening. Victoria, please just talk. Let me see whether the problem is from my side or from Vicky. Unmute yourself and talk. Let me see whether it works. Okay. Vicky.
Hi.
Vicky, how are you?
Yeah,
Happy Christmas in advance.
I'm fine. Good evening. Thank you.
Okay. I wanted to make sure that the problem it's not a general issue. Blessing is trying
Good
to talk and
evening.
I can hear.
Sorry.
Okay, so let's do this project. Blessing, I can't still hear you, but I think I can hear.
Okay. Yeah, I was hearing everybody. Oh, you guys.
Were you hearing Blessing? Could you hear Blessing when she was talking? Vicky.
No, no, no. I couldn't hear her.
Okay, yeah.
No.
So this is the project we are working on. In this
Did you hear
project,
me?
we'll build a custom
Yeah.
website with HTML5 and modern CSS techniques such as CSS Grid, Flexbox, animation, and more. We'll also deploy to Netlify and add form functionalities. Uh, to get started, let's get the meaning of HTML and CSS. HTML stands for Hyper Text Markup Language. We've done that. It's also the standard markup language for creating web pages. Okay, we know that already. What is CSS? CSS stands for Cascading Style Sheets. We know that saves a lot of work and helps in controlling the layout of multiple web pages at once. Okay, so let's get started. So first thing in building this project is that we have to create a folder and call it Tclassified.com. Okay, so that is the first thing you do. So the steps are the way I put it in such a way that you know how to build out a site whenever you want to in a very easy format. So the first step is for us to create a folder on the desktop. So you can be doing this alongside as I'm doing it now because I'll explain the codes line by line. so that you know how to create a typical front end website with the skills that you've learned so far. So this is how you do it. The website has to be in a folder. So that's why I'm creating a new folder. Any new website you have has to be in a new folder. I was able to clean up my desktop last weekend, so I think it's looking better now instead of being messed up and okay. So this is the folder Tclassified Heroku. So this is just like more or less a cloud service website. That's what I'm building. So I'm using my business name tclassified.com Oracle website. Okay. So that's the first thing you do. We all know how to create a folder. So I create a folder, give it a name. You can also do the same for yourself. So the next thing will be to open the VS Code and open the folder in the VS Code. So this is a typical flow of the way I develop my front end. So please take notes. So I click on files. I click on open folder because I want to open that very folder. Okay. So this is my typical workflow for designing just a front end. You know that by next we want to move into, so I'll have to locate the folder. This is the folder, and I click on select folder so that it will. By next week we'll be looking at React. So that's why I want us to look at all this now, because React will be a combination of HTML, the CSS, and the JavaScript in a much more easier way, very fast way of spinning up a front end. Okay, so you can see the folder is now opened up in our VS Code. This is the website we are building, the front end. We are going to be using the skills we've learned so far to build this. Press Ctrl backtick in order to bring up my terminal because I want the terminal to be up at all times. Okay, I hope everybody can still hear me. Okay, so the next thing now will be to open it up in VS Code, which we've done. And the next one will be to create a file and call it index.html. So that's the first file we are going to be creating. Index.html. So I get back here. This is where you click to create a new file. So I click there. Then I'll say index.html. So this is the HTML file. The index.html file is normally the first is accessed whenever somebody visits your website. That's the first file. Okay, so that is done now because that's what you guys we've already done this before. Then the next thing, which is our homepage, this index.html is the homepage. Then on the folder again, create another file and call it create a folder known as CSS, and then create a file and call it tstyle, which is tclassified.css. So a CSS folder, then a tstyle.css file inside the folder. Okay, that's the next thing. So to create a folder, so I'm going to click here, then I'm going to call the file CSS. That's the folder. Then inside this folder, I click on the folder. Then inside it, I'll click S. That is tclassified TSS, tclassified TC, tclassified style dot CSS. It has to be dot CSS because this is a CSS file that we are creating. Okay, that's the next thing we do. Okay. Then once we are done, then inside our index.html file, we should have this basic syntax of HTML, which is the basic syntax I taught us the first time we started. So that should be what should be inside the index.html. So I'm going to click inside the index.html, put that file there. I just got it from there. I'm going to give you guys this whole notepad like this so that you can be able to perform the same operations that I'm performing. Somebody is trying to join the class. Let me quickly welcome the person. Akinwumi. Omalade, how are you? Okay, let's continue.
I'm fine, thank you. Good evening.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Sorry I'm joining late.
Yeah, there's no issue. There's no problem. No problem. No problems. Okay, so Melody, we are trying to create a project, and I've already laid out step-by-step way of creating our design. So I'm gonna give you guys this code. Just follow it step by step, and it involves creating a website using HTML and CSS, the most modern HTML, which is HTML5, and being able to deploy this website on Netlify. So you can use this project as your first job that you're deploying, so that when employers want to check out your profile, they should see something on this. So that is what we're going to be doing. So we've created the folder on our desktop, and we opened it using VS Code. We call the folder Tclassified.com. So it's like a cloud servicing website that we want to build. So we want to know what it takes to build a basic cloud uh, hosting company and host it, so that people can access your what you've done. So the steps are highlighted in the notepad that we are just watching. So we'll be getting them, following the steps. So the first thing was that we got to know what HTML and CSS was. Then we started creating the folder. Okay. So very importantly, this first code simply, the first line, doc type h type that we're going to be looking at is HTML, and you use this line because we are using HTML5. That's how you start HTML5. Instead of just saying HTML, you have to say doc type HTML. Document type that we're considering is HTML. The HTML line in simply means that the language that we are using to write this our code is English language. N simply means English language. Then in the header tag, I told us that once you have an HTML, it's going to be divided into two major sections, the header and the body. And it is inside the header that you have the title. Okay, so that's why we have here in the header, we have, apart from the title, you have the metas. And the metas simply tell us more about our website, especially when it is going to be hosted. There's what we call search engine optimization, SEO. So they look at that to find information to enhance your SEO, your search engine optimization. So header is very, very important. So apart from the title, it's the head section of the website contains the meta. So this meta cal set UTF-8 is simply telling you that the character set that we are using for this coding is UTF-8. That is the standard character set we are using. Then this second meta is saying meta name, viewport, content width, device width, initial scale 1 point. This is simply telling us how our website is going to be on the various devices, say tablet, say phone. Then the next one is the title. You all know the title. So the title is what normally comes up here. Let me open up again. So anything that come here, this is a Google Meet. So this is title. If it is for this one, this LinkedIn, this the title is welcome. This Slack, showing that this is Slack channel. So title is what comes on top of the bar, telling you where you are at any time. That is title. So for this, we want to display T-classify Heroku. All of if you guys know about Heroku is a cloud hosting platform where you can host your 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 applications that you design using React, Node.js, and all those Python and all the rest of them. So we want to build something that is similar to Heroku. So we're calling it T-Classify Heroku, a cloud hosting for everyone, like a tagline. Okay. So this is basic. So I want everybody to do, can we do this in our system and show me what is happening there? Let's make this a practical and Blessing and Molade and Victoria. Can you guys create a folder now? Let's do this together as we interact, so that you can. I want you guys to engage me. Let's see the effect. I'll be pushing the code on the comment section so that you don't have to stress yourself much. Like if I go to the comment now. Terry, I want to say something.
I'm phone. I was on my way somewhere, so I'm using phone.
Okay, you're on phone. Okay, no worry. Yeah. Blessing
Yeah,
and
I said, I'm sorry, I'm using phone. I can't show you what I'm doing at the
yeah,
moment.
I understand.
Yeah.
Your voice is breaking. I would say your voice is breaking. Vicky, please mute yourself. Okay. I was about saying that. Should I? Can anyone hear me? Okay. So this is the first code that should be in the index.html list. So blessing and Omalade, can you guys follow? Are you guys on your PCs? Can you implement these codes? Can we make it interactive and be working along? Can unmute yourself and talk if you want to. Omalade, especially messages up so that I can be seen.
Yes. I'm sorry. My laptop is currently not with me at the moment. Yes.
Okay, okay. Okay, that's somebody practicing this. Okay, so let's move. Let's continue. Let me explain this. Yeah. So after your initial head setup, you now have to add link to the header. So this one is going to describe our utilities, whereas this one is the basic styling. Okay. Then we're going to also be using font awesome as our font for the website. So we're going to impute the link to the font awesome here, and this is the link to it. So it's also a style sheet, but it's not a local style sheet. You can see the href https, meaning that it is styling from a CDN. Okay. Okay, so this is our first. I've explained what this is. If I save now, so I add up the links. Plus CSS. I'm gonna just add it up just below this. So these are our CSS. See, CSS TL style is already here. So the next one will be this. So if I pick up this, I can create it here. TC utilities dot CSS. Okay, so that's the second CSS. That's the navbar. It says when you are done, let's start with the navbar, and that section will be inside the body tag. Okay, so inside the body tag, that's where you put the navbar. Navbar is simply how you can jump from, just like the links that we had in our website the time we created it. So it will also carry the logo section. So the body tag is this. Okay, so inside the body element we are adding there, which is the navbar. My VS Code is actually giving me issue. I don't know whether it's a virus or something. Okay, so this is the body tag and this is the nav. So the various links that it has for now is index, features, and docs. Okay, so I'm gonna save these and run it so that let's see the way it looks now. So you know that what is gonna be coming out is actually things that are inside here. So it's gonna be a typically uh, basic website for now. Okay, so you can see it's Tclassified Heroku. It just have home, features, and so those are the three links that it has for now. So you can see the links are put in li, the list elements in the URL. Then inside trying to style the website. Okay, so I'm showing you how to follow this tutorial so that you can produce this exactly the way it is, it's step by step. So I'm going to give you this code. That's what you're going to be used to use this. Now ensure you have live server installed on your VS Code. We've already installed live server on our VS Code. If you don't have it, just go to the extensions and type live install it. I've taught you guys this is the first thing we'll learn, how to install live server. Now, so when you are done with the download, proceed to right click and click on the live server. Okay. Now let's style the web page. Okay, since we've let's put a style on our web page. So in your tcstyle.css, put this basic code in your tcstyle.css. So I'm gonna pick up this. We've already learned how to do this before. Okay. So in your tc style, this is the folder, this is the file for your tc style. Paste this there. Okay, so I'm gonna put this here and I'm gonna do Ctrl S to save. So if I get back to my website now, let me see whether there are some basic changes. Okay, so you can see it has changed now. Everything is now taken to the edge and the font style is so different. It's totally different, and that is because of these basic styling that are brought in here. So it's now getting the font from this Google IP changing, and you guys know this. We did this in the first time. This is normally the first thing you do. You take out all the padding and all the border. That's why all these things got to the edge, because you've done padding to be before we now went in to do the styling. So this is the basic, some of the basic styling for the body. The font family is Lato Sans Serif. That's the font we are using now. And this is the color of the font. This you can see this is not pure black. This has 333, it's not pure black. That's why this is not pure black again. Then the line height in 1.6, you can see the line height here. For the UL, we want no style on them. That's why we took out. If you notice before, these things were in color, but now this line style type none is making it not to have any color. Same thing for the links. We want the links not to have anything on them. A simply means anchor tag for links. That's what this A stands for. Whereas this UL is for another list, which is what these home features and doc are coming in as. Then the headers, that's the style for the header and for the p tag as well as for the image style. Okay, so let's continue now. So the next thing would be to style the nav bar. So the nav bar, we know we've already built it, but it has not been styled. So this is how you can style the nav bar. So let me pick it up. So you're gonna see that our navbar is gonna look totally different now. Okay, so I'm gonna put this under here. Then I'll do Ctrl S to save. So if I go back to the website now, you're gonna see that it is much more improved. You can see that it's gonna look much more prettier. Okay, so you can see it's like magic. This is now the T class. This is the logo here. And this is home, features, and docs. So a lot of things have taken place already. So it's huge. The more we go down, the more you're gonna see a whole lot of things happening. So cool so that I can explain this. Somebody wants to come in. Um, Let me welcome the person first, Stephen. Yeah, Stephen, welcome. How are you? Okay, so this is what we are having now. So you can see that the nav bar is normally the horizontal section that is on top that houses the logo and the links. So you can even see the links once you put your mouse on them. This is a wonderful website we're building. So I'm gonna go back now, browser, and refresh to see the difference, and that is what we've done. Been able to go to the browser, to refresh, we can see that the website is very much developed now. Stephen, how are you? Okay, continue now. Now the next step say now go to the browser. Okay, now let's build out the next section. So we want to build another section apart from the navbar that we build, which we'll call it the showcase section. And under this section, we'll have link built out in the index and also a form. So to do that, let's write the lines of code below in the first. So for the first division, that's what we want to create now. And it's known as the showcase. So I'm gonna pick it up. Then you're building everything out in your HTML. That is where everything is going. Okay, so I've put that. If I save now, then I go back to my site. Let's see the way it's looking now. Let's see. Okay, so you can see there's much more additions. So here we have easier deployment, deploy, blah blah blah. These are the HTML. This has not been styled. So let's try to style it and see the way it looks after styling. Okay, so when you take a look at your web page, it is not looking stylish. Okay, it's not styled yet, and for that we'll need to style it in the ts.css. Now we're going to write out the following codes, but before we do that, let's create ts.utilities. We've done that already, which is the class we'll be using all around the website. So let's do that. Okay, so create ts.utilities and put this inside ts.utilities. Okay, so let me pick this ts.utilities. Ctrl C and get back ts.utilities. Let's put that there. Okay, so this is the ts.utilities now. Now if we get our website back, it's gonna look different. Okay, you can see it's already looking different. It's looking different. The same thing we saw the last time. It's much. You can see the name, the way this is arranged, because we put more CSS and we're able to put it inside the utility. Like we all I've said before, whenever you have dot something, it's simply showing that this is a class. If you go to the HTML, you're gonna see showcase as a class, and you're gonna see another class showcase one, showcase P, showcase dot grid. All these are in the HTML. So if I get back to the HTML, I'm gonna see those classes. So you can see them here. This for showcase, it has a class of showcase. It also has a class of container grid and a class of showcase text. Okay, and these are the other things. So this is wonderful thing that you guys are gonna be doing when I give you these the way it is. So you're going to learn the way that this code was built from the textual explanations, so that whenever you're given a project, you can do it that way. Okay. And the next thing will be to still on that here tcutilities.css put these next codes so that you can see the more of the effects. Okay. So still on ts utilities, I'm gonna come down, just down, and put this code and save and try to go and look at the better. Okay, it's looking more straightforward and okay. And name of company, email. Okay, I think I like this. So let me keep going. So under the your flex in this, write this following under the flex. Okay, so I'm gonna pick this out under TC, save any much different. Okay, so you can see that this demo now is now on one side. It's looking beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Okay, so I hope we can do this. If we finish doing it, then we're gonna go through the code line by line. Okay, now it said now instead of out our different colors for the background, it is good to use a preset rule TC. Let's have this. Okay, so I'm gonna pick this up inside the TC style. Okay, under the root. I think we should put that here. Save it. Okay, wow. So you see, immediately I put that to good. It now gave it a background so that we can see what was written here. You can see this transformation is so remarkable. All of a sudden, it looks so pretty because I just added this primary color blue because things were actually written in the background, but we are not seeing it. So immediately I put it like the scaffold is something else. It's looking so pretty. Okay, let's move forward. So my TC navbar, where is navbar? TC styles under navbar. Okay, this navbar here. So I'm gonna replace it with this. I did a control Z. This navbar. Pick the whole of it. Place. bring in another section in our HTML. So I go back to my index.html, scroll down just below this section tag, press enter key and bring in this next section and save. Okay, if I get website, you see it has another section down here. Okay, but it's not styled, so you cannot actually see it being to be beautiful. So let's try and style it immediately so that see it now. Go to your put this. Okay, I'll take this now. Get to the style section under style the utility. I scroll down a bit. Hope that's where it is. And I save in TC. Isn't it okay? TC style. So this is okay. If I get back to the website now, see it's looking much prettier. You can see it has this showing us the number of projects that has been done by Tclassified.com, the number of published projects, and the number of deployments. Okay, this is fine. This is beautiful. So the next thing will be now let's split our CSS into two. Let's have the utilities and then the TAC styles. Okay. So to do that, go to the folder, then on your VS Code, click your TS folder, and click on new and create a file and give it the name TC. I think I've done that already. Now go to the file TCCS, another TC utility section. Copy down one and paste it. Okay. I think we've done that. I've done that already. All this should be in this. Okay. Now this is let's create it. Okay. Container utility, container card button and grid. So that the three things there. My eyes. Okay. If I get back here, let me check out my TC utilities and see whether they have all those. Okay. That's showcase and card. You can only showcase on card. Okay. Button card. Okay. Let me pick this up to this. Control C. TS utilities. Control S. And I get all the margins. All these are gonna make the website to look very cute. Okay, so now let's take a look at the website. Okay, I think it's looking pretty good. You can see that even the write up, everything is so slim and it's looking like one foreign cute. You can see the fonts, everything, the arrangement, the whole thing. That's the effect of the margins and paddings. Okay, now let's get our images and get them to the web page. Okay, so now let's create a folder and call it which will have all the images in it. So let's create a new folder, call it images. So I'll come here, make sure you click on this place, then new folder, call it email. So that is going to house our images. And the first image we'll be using is the clay.png. Okay, now let's style it. Okay, so first of all, create the section in the index.html. Come here, under here, I'm gonna put it. If I save and get back to the website, I'm gonna see that a new section has been added down there. Okay, so I have another section here, the CLI. You can see it here, but it's not styled, so it's not looking fine yet. So I'm gonna pick up the style and I'll put the style on our ts.css. So this ts.css under Ctrl V and save. So if I look at the side again, it's gonna look much better. You can see it's making more sense now. It's one side. You can see it here. Click here for plus platform. It's looking pretty. So I'm gonna go back again. Let's create a cloud section. This is the cloud section. So I'm gonna pick it up. And it is inside the index.html, just below this one. Go down, put it and save. You can see it's down here again. Deploy in seconds, okay? I can see this again, but it's not yet looking fine because it's not been styled. Okay, so now let's go to our style, and in the roots, let's add up this. Here is our new root in the style, TC styles, so that it has 3 colors now, so that every other thing can be seen better. Where do I have the roots? Let me go up. I think I put it somewhere up. This is it here. So it's no longer this. It's now this. Okay. Okay. So what should be the effect of that? Refresh. Okay. Giving the buttons the right color and everything. Now, since the image looks white, when we go to our browser, we'll not be able to see the image. Okay. So let's get to utilities and try to color the image. Okay. So we do this in the utility file. Utility under the btn. Right now, oh, it's looking fine. You can see this blue color now here. It's looking much beautiful. You see, the website is looking much beautiful. Okay, I get back again. The next section says now the style the class section. Okay, to style the class section. It's yes. Get back to style the style section. I'm gonna go down the cloud section and do the styling for the cloud section. You can see that this moves line by line. You have to do first. Wow, incredible. Now let's go to the text color and text side in the TS utility and add this. Okay, that the text will be looking much finer. JS utility down here, Ctrl S, looking more prettier, read more. Okay, nice one. The more you add style, the more the website look even more prettier. Okay. Now let's create a section in the index and call it languages. Okay. So let's learn the languages we can be hosting in. If you check out your Heroku, you see that this is exactly almost how it was built. So in the index, I'm going to have another section here, down here. If I look and try to refresh, it actually does auto refresh. Okay, languages supported, you can see Clojure, Scala. Let me take this somewhere so that you can see. Node.js, Python, C Sharp, Ruby, PI. Now let's create folder and put the logo and images. Okay. Now let's create a folder on image folder and call it folder. Call that folder logos. Okay. Then put the logos there. Okay. I don't. So now let's go to here and comment on outlines and type in the code to style the language. Okay. Let me style the language section first. So first of all, I need to come here, create another folder, call it logos. Where I'm gonna put the logos, but I don't have them yet. I go to tcstyle style and try to style the languages here. Okay, Control S to save that. The website is gonna look pretty much better. Okay, wow, it's so cute. It even has um, see, once you click moves, this animation, we're gonna learn how to do them. Okay, this is interesting because we are gonna learn a whole lot. When we start explaining the code, we are gonna explain step by step what actually happens, how you bring in animation in CSS and the rest of them. So you're gonna learn a whole lot. So let's keep going. Now let's create a footer section in the index. Footer section is normally the last section. Interesting. This is the footer section. Then I'll give it, go into my index.html, just down here. You can see that in this website, everything is created inside a section by section. If I get back to the website and try to refresh now, it's already automatically refreshing it. So you can see the footer section looking beautiful. Let me take this to one side so that you can see copyright, blah blah blah, Tclassified.com. This is super picture perfect website. Okay. Now let's give them the footer section. Let's put this footer section in the tc style so that it will be having margins and look better. Control S. Okay. If you look at this now, oh, see, there's now much more spaces and it's looking even more beautiful. The website is looking so cute. Okay. Now we need to make our web page visible on tablets, mobile. Okay, this we'll call it right. This website, if you want to check it out on mobile phone and you still want it to look good, on a tablet, then you need the media queries for that. So these codes are for media queries. So in the tcstyle, so that somebody watching your website from phone is still gonna enjoy the website codes. Call it mobile.
Hello, are you there?
Somebody wants to say something. Okay, so with this media query added now, you can view this website in phones and it will still be picture perfect. Now let's work on the inner pages. That is the okay, other pages. We have other pages apart from the index.html. Copy all the codes there. Okay, open up a file, feature, and paste it. Okay, then clean up the other sections of the code and leave the navbar and only the navbar and the footer. Okay, now you should have something for this section. So want to create another page known as features.html. Features.html. So let me create that. Features.html. So I'm gonna come inside here, click here, then click here, then type the name features.html and enter. Okay, so this is the HTML now. So how you replicate, if you want your pages to look the same, you have to go into the index.html, copy everything there because you want them to look the same. Like if you're opening different pages in Facebook, see that the background is always like almost the same. If I pick this and go here and okay, so once you paste it, clean up everything, leave just the footer